So, hello, fellow Earthling. This is Earthling 64554637228. And I often forget that as an atheist, trying to live my life based on science, statistics, and what logic is available, that it is very different from the lives of the people around me. Sorry if you don't like atheists who are science, logic based. What can I sell you? Anyway, I'll get into it in a moment. As usual, I am Earthling, yada yada yada. I am a ex-army reservist. I have lost almost 100 pounds from my heaviest. I quit smoking. I have a couple degrees that I got from a scholarship, partly based on a scholarship a long time ago. And that's it for me. Now, I come from a somewhat religious family. Not super religious, just let's say, as usual, the women in the family are pretty or were pretty religious. The men in the family said that they were religious. They didn't really go to church that often. There's not a lot of men in the family anyway, I suppose. But, I guess I just realized from, lots and lots of science-based reading that, hey, these things that you've grown up believing, these things that are in the Bible, they may just be stories. I think even the Pope said it himself, that the Pope believes in the Big Bang. That's Pope Francis, I believe. And he had the idea, or he said, this is not part of his infallible power speaking though. The Pope said that, stories like Adam and Eve and Garden of Eden, etc., these things are really stories that are meant to guide us. They're not like the exact details of what actually happened. Now, I don't think very many Catholics would have read that or believe that. And of course, if you're Protestant, you don't care anything about what the Pope says. There's a lot of Protestant people who just believe that everything happened in the Bible exactly as it said, which contradicts many things. If you are just a Bible-based person, then there's really your beliefs are based on faith. There's no amount of me telling you anything. Faith is pretty strong, and faith will keep you believing things that just don't make any sense. Anyway, on a regular, since I'm taking care of my uncle with dementia, I'm living with my mother and my other uncle who's healthy, and on the regular, my mom's position for almost every problem in life is that, God will attend to it. And unfortunately, many of these problems, I have to actually attend to them, because they're physical problems that have physical solutions that you can look up online, on YouTube, and try to find a solution to whatever it might be. I had really high blood pressure for a while there, and I didn't have to pray it away. I eventually was able to figure out what was the cause of my high blood pressure. I stopped consuming that thing, and now my high blood pressure is pretty much gone, because I recorded it regularly, and I noticed it, and eventually was able to change it. And I had a lot of weight. I used to be way too heavy. I researched how to control it, and I was able to control it. And if there's something that's wrong with the car, or there's something that's wrong with the house, or there's something that's wrong with I don't know, maybe how the neighbors are acting or whatever. It's things that you can do. And, if the situation, I resolve the situation, a lot of times my mom will be like, well, God gave you that knowledge to be able to resolve that stuff. And, of course, that's not what happened. Even if I look at the Bible itself, it says there plain as day that God did not want Adam and Eve to eat anything from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So even in the Bible itself, God didn't want people to have knowledge that they were naked, that, about right and wrong or anything like that. But, what can you do? It's just faith. So, and of course, there is, the devil. My mom will believe in the devil. The devil was here, and even my uncle might think that a particular person, might be possessed by a demon, and that's why they're acting a particular way. That's why, and this is big and small. This is if I'm having an argument with my mother, and even if my voice isn't raised, even if I'm not breaking anything, she might suggest that I'm being influenced by the devil or a demon or something like that. My uncle might think that the local leader of the area, that he might be possessed, or I don't know how much he believes it, but he might say there are demons in physical form, and they are doing this and they're doing that and the other. And of course, that doesn't really make any sense at all. I mean, even in the Bible, again, supposedly the snake was just a snake. It was not Lucifer, who had been cast out of heaven kind of stuff, and entered the snake. Originally, it was just a snake. And, the fact that it talked to Eve is just an oddity. I don't know why the other animals didn't talk, but I mean, even after they left the Garden of Eden, there was no, at least in the regular Bible that I know of. Apparently, there's a book that was not included in the Bible, or may not have been, or somehow was, about how angels came down and bred with humans and made giants and all this other stuff. But I don't think most people have that particular book in their Bible. So, all this stuff whereby, well, just basically that there wasn't a whole lot of demon activity, even though God was angry with a lot of people. People were trying to build the Tower of Babel. I don't think there was demon activity or devil activity in that. God just got upset with them and did his thing. There was, I guess, things were not going well with around the time with Noah. I don't recall there being any talk of demonic or devil activity, devilish activity around that time. It's just God just didn't like the people. Cain and Abel, I don't recall there being any kind of demonic or devilish activity with respect to that. So yeah, I don't know. You could kind of like, to an extent, trace. I think the demonic and devilish activity, how people started thinking about it more and more, and then maybe they went back retroactively and came up with. But anyway, suffice to say that, of course, for me, I don't believe in any of that kind of stuff. So it is odd, and I really never, I can't really understand how that shapes the way that people think. Because once something is, demonic or devilish, then it's like all those TV shows that we used to see when we were growing up. You kind of have full reign to do anything that you want if you've decided that something is demonic or devilish. Kill it, do whatever. So, yeah, I don't have a clue how that, or I don't remember how that works. I still get angry at people and I still think that this person is really, really bad. And then sometimes, even though I might be in a situation, I think to myself, there's good reasons. There's a good reason why this person is like that. It's based on their past and, whatever they encountered in their past. It doesn't change the fact that I can't change their past for them. So, yeah. And then, of course, the thing about it is that if you're dealing with devilish or demonic activity, or ghosts or anything like that, the idea is just to get rid of it. There's no fixing a lot of these situations logically, or using your head, or looking up online to see what somebody else did that is based on actions that make a cohesive thought process. So, I don't know. It's really hard for me to, even these conspiracy theories that are based on ideas like nanites that don't exist, or they might be based on, the Illuminati, and this idea that you can very rarely find two people who can't barely even find a company where everybody likes each other and gets along and has a long-term plan, but you can have some group like the Illuminati that has been able to have a cohesive plan that has transcended generations, when you barely have companies that have a cohesive plan or even can transcend generations. The thing about it is that, all right, at the end of the day, why would I come out and repeatedly remind people about certain traits that maybe they forgot, or maybe they didn't even know, that are not popular? People don't like atheists. That's a big thing. And why would I come out and tell you or anybody else that, hey, I'm an atheist, hey, I'm really logic based, I'm a liberal? Well, because in a way I want to date you. I want to date you in that way that somebody who creates content wants to date people who listen to them. If you're anything like me, you're going to probably have a couple of YouTubers that you have been listening to for years. And you're going to have some YouTubers that you would listen to for a while and then move on because you realize that, this isn't really working out. You can get similar content with a mindset that is closer to yours. And, maybe there's some YouTubers who privately have very, very different opinions than I do. But I feel that being completely honest can help us to have a longer term, stronger relationship, or a shorter, truer relationship where we both know where I stand on different things. So, yeah. So that's me for now. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, dislike, any of those things that we do to give feedback to YouTubers about the content that they provide, with the idea, of course, what kind of content or feedback would you like if this were your YouTube content? Have a good one. Peace.